Hello everybody, my name is Jasmine aka Marisol, and within the series I want to teach you how to make basic Korean knots. But without further ado, let's get started with today's knot. Today's knot is called the 병아리매듭 or cheek knot. I have again prepared our practice string. This is just two pieces of 80 cm long string tied together. I use black and white just so you can see the contrast very well. This one is braided nylon cord. It's from Griffin. That's the one I'm using right now. It's 2 millimeters thick. This is not sponsored in any way. It's just the brand that I'm using right now. To start off this knot, I'm going to take my string into my hands like this. And because this knot is really similar to the gukwa매듭 or chrysanthemum knot, you're going to see a lot of similar steps. So if this is too hard, maybe learn the normal gukwa매듭 first. Okay, now I'm grabbing my left string. In this case, this is my black string. And I'm wrapping it around my index and middle finger 2 times. Now with my left thumb and index finger, I want to kind of measure where the second loop ends. And then at this point, I'm going to start to make a 생적매듭 or clover knot. This is also a knot that I already have a tutorial for. I'm gonna do it here really slowly, but if this is too hard, go back to the tutorial for this one. So, starting from the point I measured, I'm going to squish together a loop, like the string is not crossing over itself. Then I'm taking the part that connects to my starting point on the practice string, and I'm wrapping that once around that loop. Like from the front, wrap it once around that loop. And then squish that together with your thumb and index finger, like so. So you have the first loop here, and the second one going around the first loop. Now, I'll take my end over here, squish together another loop, and from the front, I'm putting this through our very first loop, like so. Then I'm reaching through that loop with my index finger and thumb and grab what's in my right hand. Then I pull that through like halfway, so that you should have that circle divided into 2 halves. Then I'm going to take the rest of my string and from the back push it through that upper half of the circle. Then you drag that all the way through. And now we need to pull that knot tight. So personally, it's a bit more difficult than when you do it with 2 strings. So I'm just taking those 2 loops over here, rotate it like this. I flip this one a bit to the side, and then I grab this loop over here. If you're not sure which loops to pull, just try around a bit until the shape looks right. This is the hardest part. And then by pulling on the loops and pulling both ends of the string, you just want to slowly pull that knot tight. Okay, and once that's kind of tight so that it doesn't come apart, I will check my measurement again, meaning I'll wrap the string again, 1, 2. You can already see that it's kind of like inside of the second loop. So we need to readjust the knot a bit. You can see there's a lot of excess string in the loops. So I'm thinking about redistributing the string in those 2 loops to this side so that we can again comfortably wrap it around our 2 fingers without having this knot inside the loop. Again, I'm taking my awl to like pull the string for me. You can do that all with your fingers. It's just that my fingers hurt from all the knotting that I've been doing. Okay, I personally already know like where the string goes from where. If you don't know that, just take your time slowly to test pull to see where it goes, so that you'll end up having your excess string over here. Also, you might need to pull all sides a bit tighter from time to time, just so that the knot doesn't come apart. Now that the string, all of the 2 loops, is redistributed to this side, I feel like I can put the rest of the extra string towards the other side. So I'm gonna just do that as well. Okay, and then before we move on, I'm just gonna pull that like as tight as I can so that it will hold up while we're working with it. Doesn't need to be perfect yet, like the loops don't need to be entirely even. This is totally fine. Let's check again if it's now at the right place. So 1, 2, and as you can see, it's outside of there. Could also be a bit closer. Isn't too important yet. Now, while looking at where my knot is on the left side, I'm gonna repeat that exact same step on the other side. So if you need a tutorial for this, again, just rewind a bit, but I'm gonna just do that off camera really quick. I'll be right back. Okay, then once you have done your second knot, it should look like this, that you have 2 Norigae roughly at the same length. Then we can finally start with the actual 병아리매듭 or chick knot. So again, I'm taking my string like this, putting the starting point down here, and wrapping the black string, or the one to your left, 2 times around my index and middle finger. Then I'm gonna slide them with my left index finger, and with the help of my thumb, I'm just trying to keep that all in place and switch it to my left hand entirely. Just to check in, your 2 loops should be on your left index finger. The white string should come out to the side like this, and the rest of the black string goes out over here. Now then, I'm gonna form a big loop on the right side, including the clover knot. And then I'm taking the top section of that white loop and wrap it once around our 2 black loops. And once I have done that, I'm gonna twist that loop once away from us. If you need to, just tidy up your loops a bit in between. Then I'm taking the end of my black string and from the left side, put it through our 2 black loops. Be careful that when you do that, you don't pull the clover knot through the loops. Okay, then I'm gonna go with the black string, I'm gonna go underneath the rest of the white string, from behind through the white loop, and again through our 2 black loops, but this time from the right side. Also be careful to not catch this clover knot inside. Okay, like so. Then I'm going to take my white loop again, and before we twisted it once away from us, now we twist it once towards us so that this part doesn't cross anymore. Then again, I'm taking the top section of this loop and wrap it once around our 2 black loops. And again, once I'm done here, I'm going to twist it once away from me. And as you can see, it's just the exact same thing. So from the left side, through our black loops, underneath our white string, through the white loop from behind, and this time from the right side, through our black loops. Be careful again not to catch onto the clover knot. Okay, once it is like this, I'm gonna carefully take out my left hand because right now I want to take a different grip onto this. So I'm just wiggling my finger in between our 2 black loops and through the middle of the knot. And when I have them straightened out like this, you can see that there's 4 strings crossing our 2 loops. There's 1 black one, one white one, one black one, one white one. Now, in a second, with my white string, I want to go underneath every black string. So underneath the first and underneath the third string. If you're working with one color, you can also see that 2 strings are going over the 2 loops and the other 2 are beneath the 2 loops. And we want to go under each one that's underneath the 2 loops. I know it sounds complicated, but let me just show you what I mean. Let's just lift it up a bit. Put the white string under the black one. Pull that through. Then we're skipping over the white one. Again, going under the black one. So that it looks like this. Once you have done that, we're going to do something very scary for a beginner. We're going to flip this knot to the other side. So just put your hand over it, slide your finger out, and then flip. Now sometimes that side might look a bit chaotic, but we always got some anchor points that we can find again. So for example, you can see our 2 black loops still here. And then you'll quickly see those 4 strings crossing it again. And I want to have a similar grip on this once again, so just insert your finger over here. Now the steps we're going to do are really similar, but there's one extra thing we need to do. Grab your top loop, and if it's pushed inwards like this, just pull it out a bit so that it goes past your first string, crossing the 2 loops. Then we're going to take our white string and from the top, push it through that loop. Then it's again the same thing, but this time the order is swapped. So we're gonna skip the first one, go underneath the second one, skip over the third one, and go underneath the fourth one. Now once you have that, all the knotting is done, but we need to still pull that knot into shape. Okay, I like to rotate my knot like this, with 1 clover knot on each side. So you definitely need to pull on your clover knots, on the rest of the string, and on the top, but you'll also need 4 other loops to pull on. On this side, where your white clover knot is, you'll need to find 2 white loops, and the same thing just reversed on the other side for the black clover knot. How do you find them? Well, as you pull a bit, you can see our net structure here in the middle, and then sometimes you'll see loops sort of sticking out of that square, and that's the ones you want to pull on. So this one and this one. If you can't see them, just look around a bit, maybe rotate it, just pull a bit more on what you already know you have to pull on. But for the other side, it's this one over here and this one down here. And now when we start to pull that knot tight, our first goal is to make a nice square shape in the middle over here. The loops don't really matter right now. Also, like the excess string next to your clover knots don't matter. Just pull it tight so that you get like a nice square shape in the middle. Gonna do that a bit more so that the center is like nice and tight. And that there's no weird like bulging going on. While doing this, you can also flip it to the back from time to time to see how that side looks, and then pull a bit more here and there. Okay, once you have that, it could look something like this. I know it's a bit chaotic, but we got 1, 2, 3, 4 loops, the 2 ends of our string, and the loops with our clover knots. Now again, something I do with all of the knots is to redistribute the string, meaning from our starting point or a part where you've already been making some knots, we want to redistribute the string through the knot so that the loops get to a size that we want them to be at and that everything looks tidy. Okay, again, you just want to follow the string, see where it goes, and then pull that through the knot. Again, if you are not too sure where a string goes, just test pull a bit. Try it out, just take your time with that. Also, you can decide how big the loops should be. I'm gonna just do something that I would like. One more important thing is that when you get to the part where your clover knot is, you need to pull that string through the clover knot as well. So like we did before when we first made them, we need to redistribute the string. That's why I said they don't need to be perfect at the start, because you're going to redistribute the string anyways. Also, you don't need to get the knot perfect in like one run of pulling string through. It's okay to just go very slowly and do it like a couple of times. This is what one side done for me looks like. Let's just finish up the other one with the exact same process. And then once you're done, it could look something like this. I could be way more perfectionist about this, but since the tutorial and I'm gonna open this knot up again anyways, I think that's totally fine. If you've made it so far, congratulations! This is one of the harder knots actually, so if you've managed to make that, really good job. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video helped. If it did, maybe give it a like or subscribe for more content coming up. If you're interested in getting Norigae or Norigae inspired items and you've just realized that making them yourself is not for you, that is of course totally valid, and if you'd like, you can check out my Etsy shop, which is linked in the description. See ya!